Yo, what is goody, boys? We got a trade recap today on how I banked shit on Tesla. So let's get into this shit. It was a very slow day, still choppy, but I did indeed catch the move. Did pretty good. I cashed about 11% on this move. I was out of the money, so they didn't run too crazy. I think I only made like $150, but shit. Profit is profit, right? We're not worried about how much money we made. We're worried about the percentage, and we're worried about how we can capitalize off of that in the long term, right? We're worried about how can we do this every single day. By the way, I do have one runner left, so hopefully we can see some more TPs hit. But let me hide this real quick. Actually, I'll just delete it. Matter of fact, I'll keep my alerts on there. So why I took this trade. Let's start on the 4-hour. You know that we're always on the higher time frames. If you're new to this, we start out on the higher time frames for our bias to see what liquidity we're sweeping, what confluences we're coming into, and then we see a bounce or a reject off of that. So obviously, I wouldn't call it a bounce, but I'll basically call it a liquidity sweep, whether we're sweeping highs or lows. So you can obviously see that we're in this chop, dude. We're coming up to an area where we've rejected more than 20 times, right? We've rejected off this area so many times. So I saw us come up here, and I'm like, okay, what are we doing? For one, we're coming into an order block right here. For two, we are sweeping out highs. Give me a second. Boom, right here. So we're sweeping out 4-hour highs. We're sweeping out hourly highs. And these are all pre-market levels. So look at all of these highs pre-market. All of these highs, and there's a bunch of liquidity resting above there. There's a bunch of orders that are going to want to get filled. So all of these orders got filled by us coming up here, sweeping it, and then dumping. Right? That was us sweeping and then dumping. So we have the hourly, the 4-hour sweep. 15-minute, same thing. We're sweeping. So what did I wait for? I waited for that 1-minute break of structure. Boom. You know we're sweeping up here. I saw a bang, break of structure right here. We retested this EMA right here. Where did I end up entering at? I think it was right here. I think if I go back, I'll be able to see it, right? I shouldn't have took that off. Fuck. There we go. All right. So you guys can see I entered right on the break of structure on the 1 minute. So I saw us break structure down here. And then we broke structure. We retested, but I didn't see a fair value gap. So I was just like, all right, I need a fair value gap. But I saw this fair value gap right here. I know there's a lot of stuff get tapped into. And then I saw a big rejection off of that. I got filled a little late right down here. Was waiting. Boom, boom, boom. Take profits. Accumulated for a good 30 minutes. And then bang. So that's where I entered. I entered off of that break of structure and then the retest. But I got in a little late. So a little late entry. Still cashed out though. Remember, higher time frames. We saw the liquidity sweep up here. Then I scaled down to like, okay, let's scale down to the 5-minute too. Boom, we have a liquidity sweep and we see the reject right away. So I'm like, okay, if I can go on the 1 minute and scalp this, it wasn't a scalp, but we called this basically this whole move. I saw the liquidity sweep, boom, impulse move, retest to the EMAs. Also, the EMA crossed below the 21. So the 9 crossed below the 21. That's another indicator or an indication, like a confluence that I use in my strategy to go to the up or downside. It's a very good indication. It helps me out for pullbacks, for entries, to basically identify what trend we're in. So I saw the 9 cross below. That's identifying a downtrend. We retested it, entered off the fair value gap, bang, 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 and hopefully we can end up breaking this low. So yeah, that was the trade recap. Just to go over it again, so you guys realize, hopefully you write this down, you have a checklist. Go to the higher time frames, look for your bias. Look at the 1 hour and the 4 hour, see if we're sweeping liquidity, see if we're in an uptrend, right? Because if we're in an uptrend, you want to see lows get taken out to continue that uptrend. If you're in a downtrend, same vice versa, you basically just want to see what we're bouncing, what we're rejecting off of. It'll take time. You're not going to get it right away. But basically, stay on those higher time frames and then go to the lower time frames to see the break of structures. That's the break in the trend. So basically, a quick break of structure is like, say we're in a downtrend right here. A break of structure is, okay, breaking the trend, right? So boom, breaking the trend. Now we're in an uptrend. So that's a shitty example, of course, but you want to see that on the lower time frames, and then you can go even lower for your entries, close to the lows, close to the highs, to get that precise entry. Boom. You target all the other resting liquidity on the opposite side. So that's how we do our strategy. I'm going to start making YouTube videos. I'm going to continue to do these trade recaps. Join up on the live Discord every single weekday, 9:30. Peace out, boys. That was a trade recap today. Banked 11% on Tesla. Deuces.